You did not even send me your born anyway. Why in the world I'm around, it's hard to say. You did not even send me your born anyway. Why in the world I'm around, it's hard to say. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Reading Fanfiction with Teddy and Peter. With you, as always, is me, Teddy. I was turning the mic because I think this mic sometimes takes in sound differently from different angles, particularly this angle where it's dented.
I leave your impressions or comments in the description, or rather in the comments below. We'll definitely respond to them and definitely treat you like a human being.
Comment if you can hear this. You can see the levels. Anyway, this is a semi-special episode because I'm planning on putting this one out, whether it's 32 or 33, on our 1 year anniversary, which is March 28th.
Insane.
Which is really crazy.
It is. I mean, I think for something that we were doing casually, that really, I mean, it certainly means something to us, but it doesn't, it's not like we're trying to make money off of this. I think it's pretty impressive we've done it. I could definitely have seen a world where we just, stop after, 2 or 3. And that definitely was a path that I think we both took measures to avoid.
Yeah, because to me, I mean, starting a podcast is just cringy. It's very neutrally cringy. It's something that you can work with. Yeah. But like most things like it, the best way, there are many ways you can justify something like it, but the best way is to not stop.
Yeah, I agree.
Is to do it with intention.
Yeah.
And I think, 1 year and going, we've pretty much, we've crossed the hump where I think justified is a strong word, but I mean, I don't think I've made a mystery of them. I'm pretty pleased with how these turn out. And, we've had great guests on, had great discussions. And honestly, I'm glad to kind of, well, as you said, we've been playing the fan fiction game long time before this started up, but having the idea of fan fiction in my life as I go about and think does change or adds new filters to the way I think about things.
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially since the Arlo episode. Yeah. And we've kind of been, getting a little more liberal with the use with the definition of fan fiction.
Yes.
There are definitely times in my life where I see something I'm like, oh yeah, that we could talk about that on the pod. Yeah,
the fan fiction to me is so broad. Yeah. It gets broader because to me it's just it's just adaptation. It's just creation. Yeah. It's a hope. It's a dream. And sometimes it can be incredibly cynical because actually I haven't showed Pia this, but I saw this this is incredibly random. Okay. But I saw this little headline and I was like, this is random. This is a good example of fan fiction. So I peruse Pitchfork every now and then. And they had this bit. Okay. Some sponsored content. And you don't need to know who these people are, but it's featuring these two artists, Madlib and Kate Trinata. And the bit is called Driven by Sound Part 2, featuring Madlib and Kate Trinata. And let me read you. So it's from our partners, but let me read you this. In the second episode of a 2-part documentary, producers Madlib and Kate Trinata learn more about the installation of the custom in-dash record player in the Lexus IS Wax. Madlib then takes the Lexus IS Wax edition for a spin to premiere his and Kate Trinata's exclusive double-sided single. produced by Pitchfork with Lexus. So I read that and I was like, that's cringy. But it reads like a fanfic description. Madlib and Kaytranada go into the new Lexus.
Or I mean, ironically, like Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Where it's like, name of somebody and name of somebody else.
Yeah.
Do random activity with brand.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, and what is Pitchfork but an outlet for fans?
Yeah.
And they're manipulating.
Yeah.
I mean, and what an ad is, I mean, an ad, it definitely can fall under fiction. They're just manipulating for the fans things with these. Yeah. And, you know, and that just, you know, when you start thinking about it that way, I mean, I think you can, it's political as well. I mean, we won't get too much into that, but,
whoa.
I mean, just thinking about, we had that episode about the K-pop stands and the idea of manipulating of fans of living, manipulating kind of their environment. And I guess kind of then apropos to none of that, we're also reading a Social Network. I mean, Social Network.
I think Facebook is definitely like an outlet for, not just for like, I mean, obviously maybe for sharing fan fiction, but for like creating fan fiction about people in your life. You know, like you yourself have like the draw of it is that you yourself have an ability to write a fan fiction about yourself that includes all of your friends.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
It's not real. It's completely simulated, but that's why it's safe and why people like it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, a large part of it was just that I rewatched it again after having had seen it for a long time. It was 2010, and I remember. I think that was like my first favorite movie. So I was like 13.
Well, I think a lot of the fan fiction impetus comes from, like, so like. I think something that is cross-cultural is this idea of taking something that is very established, like a phrase or something like that, and reworking it slightly. And so like it shows off both your ability as a writer to harken back to something, but also to show that you are still, that you have the ability to produce something that's different. And I think that's really what's behind a lot of the fan fiction stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Social Network as a historical fiction is itself fan fiction. And what's
completely agree.
Interesting about this fan fiction, Blue Red Lines, which is supposed to be blurred lines. I know you want it. I know you want it.
Which is ironically blurred also the last time that anyone used Facebook. It was when that song was popular.
That's when Blurred Lines was popular. By Fire and Smoke. So the description reads, when Jesse gets the role, he fits so Jesse Eisenberg, the actor who plays Mark Zuckerberg. When Jesse gets the role, he fits so easily into. As time goes on, how easily can he slip between the two characters?
Okay.
Jesse/Andrew implied Mark/Eduardo, where everything is Junicorn and nothing hurts. Now... Pause. So we were having our own kind of discussion before this, and then we knew we had to hit record because we were being hilarious.
Yeah, we were being way too funny to not be on wax on this one.
But Junicorn was a term that was new to both of us, and I had looked it up previously, and I kind of saw its entry on Urban Dictionary, but I didn't see the whole thing until I clicked through with Peter just now, and apparently it is let me read it. A word used by the incredibly quality faction, don't know what, of the Social Network fandom on Tumblr to describe Andrew Garfield and Jesse Eisenberg, as both of them are Jews who were clearly raised by unicorns in a magical forest somewhere. The point being, I think, that
is Andrew Garfield Jewish?
No.
So then
I don't think either of them are.
Jesse Eisenberg, I would at least believe. Andrew Garfield.
Ethnicity. Oh,
he is.
He
Sure,
is.
Sure.
So then what? I don't know then.
I mean, I think the idea is like, I think that so. I mean, I remember the heyday of Tumblr was when I was also friends with like these theater nerds.
Yeah.
And they loved Jews, even though none of them were Jews.
Right.
You know, they were all like, that's like a big Tumblr aesthetic, is like thinking Jewish people are like cool.
Yeah.
When
I mean, they're pretty
like,
cool.
I mean, some of them
as
are.
a goyle, yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean, some of them also aren't.
Like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, or yeah, yes.
Exactly. Perfect example.
But it's just like a weird thing to say. I mean, exoticization maybe. I
don't understand it. I wonder if it's like the idea is that they're too handsome or too something to actually be handsome. Jewish.
They're too handsome to
like
be
that they're
Jewish,
fantastical. Yeah. I don't understand.
It's also if you drink their blood, you
yeah. If you drink their what's the consequence of that in Harry Potter?
I don't remember.
Anyway,
I had a Latin teacher the other day call the Latin in Harry Potter dog Latin. Wait, that's fan fiction, I think.
That's fan fiction. But so let's see. This is Fiction T, Romance Angst. 878 words, 2 reviews, 8 faves, 3 follows. Published February 1st, 2011. Oh, yeah. I think that's before Blurred Lines was 2013.
I mean, that's 10 years ago.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Blurred Lines. I know you want it. Yeah, 2013.
Dude, featuring T.I. and Pharrell.
Yeah,
people forgot Pharrell was on that one.
That's yeah.
Let's cancel Pharrell retroactively.
How much money did he put in to forget? I mean, Robin Thicke. There's the famous headline where after the Robin Thicke's next album sold 46 copies in the UK. But that's fine. So it starts with the author's note. I know. Have a Prince return to finish and also observation, and I promised myself I wouldn't write start another one until at least one of them was finished. Anyway, I hope you like this and the characterization isn't too far off.
Anyways, I know I just lied to you, but
yeah.
I hope you take this unicorn face.
Yeah, and I like characterization isn't too far off. It's like too far off of what? like that's the thing that we're in so deep in so many layers of like characterization, because now it's a fan fiction of an actor playing a role of a real person. So it's a fiction of a fiction.
Of a fiction, yeah. And that person's life is already like seems fictitious. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's life is absurd. Whoa. Oh, that's like an ad. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of ads have been appearing on. Oh, I think it's because I'm on an incognito window. Incognito mode, dude. Sorry, listeners. I got confused whether I was opening porn or fanfiction.net when I opened this window.
Yeah, you don't want your employer to find out that you're
on fanfiction
on your personal computer.
Jesse always prided himself on being a method actor. Citation needed. And when this role came along, it wasn't that hard.
He was super method in Zombieland when he went method by killing zombies.
Rule number 3, double tap. It wasn't that hard to dissolve him into the character. Like Mark, he was emotionally guarded, sarcastic, and not the greatest at making friends. Well, let's be truthful. He was terrible at it. For him,
can you imagine Jesse Eisenberg reading this like, hey, I don't know, I'm pretty personable.
Well, this is a funny thing about rewatching the movie, that I was surprised how strong a current of this theme was, that I didn't really pick up, and this is going to sound crass, but I mean it earnestly, because how they establish at the start how much his, 2 things.
Yeah.
1, how much his Asperger's plays into it.
Yeah.
There's the scene where with the girl, and he keeps asking her.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if she's joking, and he's like, "Are you joking? I can't tell." And I mean, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, like, for some reason that didn't come through to me as a young person. 2, the whole movie is about, I mean, and this is part of the kind of the argument of the director, that everything that any man ever does is just to get laid.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything.
Well, I guess the only thing I mean, I don't think Jesse Eisenberg like actually believes the only thing that this person knows about Jesse Eisenberg is he watched The Social Network.
Well, maybe he listened to the cast commentary. For him, taking the role as Mark as a simple choice. The script and the story was fantastic, and couldn't wait to see how it would turn out. And the character of Mark Zuckerberg has been the easiest character he could relate. Yet that was part of the problem. He could relate to him too well.
Oh,
now not even his family could tell where the character stopped and just... Mark Zuckerberg is a real person.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing Hamlet, maybe, or like Macbeth or something. It's like Mark Zuckerberg is like currently under like thousands of lawsuits, like desperately trying to like stay under the radar.
That'd be like if like someone's like your family's like, we can't tell when you're George W. Bush or when you're you. You're getting lost in this character. Not even the one he held closest to his heart, Andrew. Oh, Andrew Garfield. So now they're at the
one being, like no one. Yeah. No one could tell. Yeah.
When it came down to finally meeting who he would be working with, he was almost sick at least twice. He felt the same kind of nervous when it's your first day at school as much as you felt shy. A part of you just want to just go. Just do it.
This person knows that because they're also
in school, yeah. So he turned up in his most comfy clothes, sat far away from people, and got into the mindset of Mark. Now he had just begun the first stage of his research and has currently learned how he likes to speak. For the purposes of this, that is good enough.
I also, like, Mark Zuckerberg was like a CEO of like a... I mean, he still is. He's like...
Yeah.
This, I mean, I guess he's not technically the CEO anymore, but like, he was like a... He doesn't like sit away from people. He's like a human being.
Well, I think that's why I thought to bring up the Asperger's thing, because I don't think that, I mean, in the movie they never say that word. I don't think that word is going to be said in this fan fiction, because really what he's describing is not a is like some part his character, but a lot of it is he's just the appearance of autism.
The like stereotype of it.
Yeah. As he just got settled into his seat, a dashingly beautiful young man walked through the doors. Really beautiful. His hair swept back into an easy and carefree looking style. The soft, shining sunlight catching the hair, making parts of it shine golden. His easy smile seemed to make everyone calmed and instantly drawn to him. That's star power, baby. Yeah, that's the it factor.
I'm like, Andrew Garfield isn't that attractive. I mean, he's
pretty cute in that movie. He's good
looking, yeah, but like, I wouldn't say he's like the hottest person in Hollywood.
No, it's just another Junicorn.
It's just another Junicorn.
David Fincher, one of the friendliest directors Jesse is having the pleasure of working with, beamed as this man walked through the door and said,
"Man,
Andrew, great to have you. Andrew Garfield, this is Jesse Eisenberg. He will be playing Mark Zuckerberg."
This is the first time they're meeting. Like,
no emails sent.
Like, this person thinks that casting decisions like this happen like High School Musicals.
I was about to say, like in high school where everyone it's like 4:30 p.m. Everyone come and meet each other.
This is when they're putting up the list for who's in their social network. It's gonna be on the bulletin board.
That would be cool if that when big movies came out, they was like, well, I guess they do. Yeah, they literally do that. I'm gonna shut up.
I mean, it's not like on a 12-point font, like Word document.
He will be playing Mark Zuckerberg. Here he pointed directly to Jesse, who could only give an awkward wave. For some unknown reason, this caused, alongside him, he couldn't wait. He could feel an instant connection when they shook hands. And he didn't if he was imaging it, but he could sense Andrew leaning more towards him, and the day progressed.
What?
Side note, the day progressed.
Yeah.
David shifted in his seat and glanced at his clear crystal white watch.
Whoa. What?
Fucking Hollywood elites.
Is it clear or white?
Yeah. It's clear crystal white. Lunchtime. Brilliant
also,
work,
it's so
everyone.
fun. Like a crystal. This person probably heard of the phrase crystal watch and was like, "Oh, that must be a crystal encrusted watch." But it's just a watch like that uses a crystal to like keep the time.
These beautiful women in
Yeah.
the ads in the
Korean
bottom
women.
are really distracting me. 3CE clear layer. I don't even
Yeah, I
know
don't
what
know
it's
what
at.
that's an ad
Oh,
for.
I think it's
I think
makeup.
we're gonna have to click on it then. Oh,
I
mean,
can't.
You're in incognito mode after all.
Anyway, Jesse shifted out of his chair carefully. Every time he is in one of these chairs, he seems to get out of it in the most ungraceful fashion. Luckily, this was not one of those times. Turning his attention to Andrew, he saw how gracefully he gets out of the chair and makes his way out the door almost like a cat. No scratch that it was more deer-like.
What?
Jesse quickly...
What the fuck is this guy talking about? How do you get out of a chair ungracefully? You literally just stand up.
Well,
Is he
maybe...
like he's like flies trips?
Oh,
God! Like throws everybody's papers around.
David Fincher is like, we're so excited to have Jesse Eisenberg. He has Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
We've got a really progressive casting choice for Mark Zuckerberg. Jesse quickly walked out the door and he found Andrew waiting for him. Hey, I thought we could grab lunch together, help to get know each other, he said, smiling. It took Jesse slightly longer than normal to process what was actually said to him. He was too busy inspecting the intensity of brown was in his eye.
Okay.
Brown!
Oh, I know about that brown eye.
I know about the
Let's go.
intensity of brown.
Let's go.
Every morning. Snapping back into the present, he nodded and shrugged, sure. During lunch, they found they had a lot in common. More than Jesse would have...
They were both actors.
You're an actor?
That had nothing to do with the roles that they were...
More than Jesse would have first thought. Similar taste in literature, which would give them plenty to talk about in the future. Not the fucking movie that they would be filming together. Whenever they got
Or
onto...
like talking about Facebook. Like they're just like,
Are you on Facebook? What do you know about it? Whenever they got onto the subject of music, Jesse managed to skip that one by bringing up the subject of his beloved cats.
How?
Why?
Yeah, I like music, but my cats love music.
He quickly found out how easily he could make Andrew laugh. How lovely that sound was. David called them back to finish the read-through, and the rest of the day carried similar to the morning. When the day came to an end, Jesse and Andrew stayed behind for as long as they could. Jesse knew Andrew could be one of these people he could talk to for weeks on end.
This is how you know that this person's in high school. Because it's like, if they were just like adults, they would just like go somewhere. Like they would like, go to...
They would just go fuck.
Or like they'd go to like a bar
bar
or something. Yeah, like they're not staying after because they have to like go home.
They're waiting for their parents to pick them up. Or they take the late bus.
Yeah.
Weeks on end, never find a moment where it'd be awkward for the conversation would run dry. When it was time to finally part, they smiled warmly to each other, already eager to reunite and start the filming. Jesse was always expecting this project to be truly an amazing experience, but he never expected it in just a read-through to draw on this much to one person. He never expected in all his life to meet someone like Andrew. Now he wanted nothing more than spend as much time in his company as he physically could. The end.
Let's go.
I mean, big missed opportunity not having, oh God. Army Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
In this.
True.
But they didn't know back then.
Well, so to me, it's like...
his possible sexual capacities.
Yeah. I think it's weird, though, to do, like... First of all, Fire and Smoke. you gotta do some proofreading.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
that was
clearly
pretty
wrote
horrendous.
this
Like
too quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of missing words, wrong words.
Honestly embarrassing. I mean, it doesn't even strike me as like a language problem. Like this person's like this person just like this person knows English. They just did it too quickly.
Yeah, you can tell where the mistakes happened.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to write it as fast as possible so they could get back to their promise, the prince's return or whatever. So Writer Girl on February 1st, 2011 wrote, "Amazing, please update."
No updates.
No updates, and it's the only part of the story.
It's been 10 years later.
Urban Amour, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like
February 6th, 2011 says, "Everything is Junicorn and Nothing Hurts 3." So I think maybe like colon 3. Yeah. So they just like that
Nothing's
idea.
Unicorn, by the way. And only some things hurt. Yeah, that's pretty... You know, I don't say this phrase a lot, but as a member of the Jewish community, I'm offended by Junicorn. Vaxhole.
Okay, sorry, we got on Urban Dictionary. Vaxhole, one who has been fully vaccinated for the COVID-19 virus and brags about it.
That's a good one, honestly. It's the word
I guess. It's a little neurotic, though.
It's on the nose.
We just started getting, like, don't you want that? Anyway.
Yeah, yes. Not the point.
Yeah, no.
I think that the most that can... Oh my god, we are... Okay. The most that should come out of this is the reader, I think, should look up Junicorn and just look at all the definitions. I mean, the one we read is probably the simplest, but there's some really, like, tough ones to see. A variety of unicorn that immerses itself in Judaism.
Who is entering these?
I mean, is that like a thing? Like, do unicorns...
This reeks of Tumblr. Furries.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. No, I mean... Dude, I mean, that's the thing is... Oh, wow, yeah, that jumped
Activity
up
in
June 2019 is kind of off the hook.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's what I was going to say about Tumblr, too, is, like, they love, like... I mean, obviously, they love anthropomorphic animals. So, like, unicorns, I mean, they, you know... But also they love, like, making things that are, like, everyday be very, like, fantastical.
Yeah.
And that can be nice to a certain extent. It can also be really annoying.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if it's just high schoolers yelling it to each other.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, at the same time, I mean, like, we're choosing to enter into this, you know?
Yeah.
It's like...
It's our own fault, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's our own fault.
Anyway... I think that calls it.
Do you have any closing remarks on
1
Social
year
Network or 1 year?
Social Network, good movie.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
1 year of podcasting. May there be many more.
Many more.
Soon we'll have our children on as guests.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've already got one in the oven. Let's just say that much.
Okay.
So,
I should get on it.
Yeah. I know you got to impregnate somebody.
Okay. So, look forward to that, I guess. And see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.